I would like to first of all thank We Unify Canada for organizing this event. We often underestimate the time and effort needed, so thank you. I work as a GP specializing in addiction up island. A couple of weeks ago, I was paying for groceries at our local small grocery store, and I noticed a Canadian flag hanging from the ceiling. I smiled at the young teller and asked her if the flag was for the truckers. She quickly looked around to make sure no one else was beside us and said, "Yes, the flag is for the truckers." I told her I also support the truckers. She looked around once more and quickly told me she was unvaccinated. She told me she felt pressured by her GP to get vaccinated. Her GP had described the COVID vaccine as safe and effective, and that it had been around for over 10 years. As I drove home, I started thinking about that young lady and felt ashamed. I felt ashamed as a physician that the medical profession, including public health, had managed to make a healthy young woman feel pressured to have a medical intervention with little benefit to her. All medical interventions, including vaccines, have risks, and you need to weigh the benefit of that intervention against the risk. I feel ashamed as a Canadian and as a physician at how quickly we had managed to divide society into the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. The unvaccinated were being treated like 21st century lepers. They were not allowed to travel by plane or train. Some were being fired from their jobs, and others were not being invited to family events. I understand stigma. I have worked as an addiction doctor for many years. We have progressed as a medical community to destigmatize addiction and treat it as a brain disease. And here we were, as a society, as a medical community, stigmatizing the unvaccinated and labeling people as vaccine hesitant, just because they had made a critical analysis of a medical intervention. Now, more than 2 years into this, I believe the path forward does not lie only with the medical profession. I believe the solution lies with all of us. We need to be open to debate and respectfully challenge what does not make sense. We need answers from our medical profession and the governing bodies. We need answers from public health, and we need answers from politicians. Why were doctors prevented and punished for using off-label medications to treat COVID? Why are we pressuring healthy people to get a medical intervention without proper consent? Why are we vaccinating healthy children and teenagers when their risk of death with COVID is negligible? Why are many adverse reactions to COVID vaccines not being reported when there is a legal obligation to do so under the Public Health Act? Yes. Why do we keep giving vaccine boosters when the effect of the boosters do not last and the virus has mutated? Why do we see more people with anxiety and mental health issues? And the big why. Why do we still have mandates and passports when we know the experimental COVID-19 vaccine that has a non-liability clause does not prevent you from getting or transmitting COVID? Today, to fly from Texas to Vancouver, you have to sit over 4 hours in a plane full of unmasked people. But as soon as you land at the Vancouver airport, you need to put a mask on to step out of the plane.
Bullshit. Nonsense.
Today, a vaccinated nurse who tests positive for COVID can go to work, but a healthy, unvaccinated nurse has been fired. It does not take a medical degree to see that some of the things we are coerced to do in the name of health makes no sense. It does not take a medical degree to realize that politics, big pharma, and medicine do not mix. So I challenge all Canadians to look at the science, to educate yourselves, and to start using good old-fashioned common sense. God bless.